Thanks, Tsunami. Sunshine with Cinder in here. IG versus OG, as Tsunami just said. The battle of the top and the bottom of this group, Cinderman. Who do you got?
What do you call that? So you have like you have
David and Goliath.
When it's the two bottom teams of a group fighting, you call it the toilet bowl, and when
Yes.
it's the top, you call it the
Rose Bowl?
Rose Bowl.
I don't know.
What do you call it when it's top and bottom?
Just a bowl.
This is the bowl. Welcome to the bowl, everybody. We're gonna go
Very
bowling
exciting.
with OG and IG and our cousin. Yeah, curious strategy here to see. Honestly, I'm with the panel on a lot of what they said. To me, this morphling is also quite puzzling with what we've seen work in this patch so far. But obviously, it's IG. It's them, you know, maybe grasping at straws. They're having a rough tournament. They've not won a game. Maybe it's like, all right, guys, let's go for comfort. Emo morph is something that we've found a lot of wins with in the past. But I'm a little bit worried for them that the pacing of this patch doesn't really suit their lineup as well.
Yeah.
But if things go right early on, I definitely think they can get there. OG have been looking hot.
I mean, to be fair, when big patches like this come out and you don't really have a ton of time to adapt, you will have teams that just can't adapt well. I mean, that's just how it works, and some teams will blow it out of the water. And OG right now, I mean, it's still, you know, relatively early. It's 7-1. Their schedule, I mean, the group as a whole is pretty tough, but they have 2 stand-ins. That's also random wild card. I don't know what it is about this team and having stand-ins and then owning in a major, but
I just want to say from my own personal, slightly biased perspective, if you will, which I'm not very biased in general.
So you say.
But I'm happy to see MC having a blast. I have to say, it's kind of heartwarming. I really like the guy. I think he's still he's an underrated player, and it's weird to say, right? The guy has had a lot of success in his career already, but it feels like, you know, some people might say, all right, he's falling off. You know, it's not really his time in the sun anymore. But I personally still think this guy is really good, and so far in this tournament, he's been looking great. And if anything, it's kind of one of the very interesting thing that I think people watching the game might not appreciate enough is how much team dynamics and just seemingly random things can make a really big difference. You know, teams have major slumps and then they suddenly look like the best team in the world, and then they slump again and whatnot. And
yeah, sometimes it's patch related as well.
It can be all sorts of stuff, but obviously, you know, Nigma have not been looking great for quite a while, but I don't think it's because any individual player in their team is just like not good enough. But you know, it's why it's interesting. You get to see when you move the pieces around a little bit, you can definitely tell that a player like MC, I look at this guy playing right now, I'm not like, all right, this guy, you know, overrated, he used to be great, not anymore. Not the case for me. I see Mind Control still kicking it, so.
That's not a term.
It is.
Kicking it means you're about to drop the bucket. Means you're about to die.
Oh, that's actually true. Well,
he's going to kick it one day. Not today, though. Well, maybe he'll die once on Necro. We'll see. But
it's the whole theme of the hero is
yeah, that's true. I mean, it's an undead, so you have that. Yeah, he's going to be playing the Necro in the off lane with Taiga on the Coddle, and it's versus Emo's Morphling, which you brought up. How's this lane specifically for the Morphling? Because I feel like Coddle should be relatively fine once he gets to level 3 or 4. As top lane, we're going to see some action first. Uragi going a bit ham.
Getting in there. He's kicking it. So I think the Necro against Morphling. So the way Morphling usually wins lanes is through either raw last hitting advantage or through harassing with Adaptive Strike. But neither of those really come into play very well against Necrophos, right? Necro can secure CS with Death Pulse plus attacks, and the harassment that you output isn't really particularly meaningful most of the time. Necro can just heal it up. He is taking a serious beating, though, actually. The
Emo gets first blood.
The Chen is the wild card here. Huge damage output with the
and mid lane, BZM gets bursted down by Dust. That was really surprising. I thought BZM did a really good job of denying some CS with the concoction, but that means it's on cooldown, and Dust just ran him down.
Yeah, that's a great start for IG. And just to elaborate a little bit on this Necro against Morph, I think just these two heroes in a vacuum against each other, both heroes farm and do fine, but the thing that can really push it over the edge is who has the right support for the lane. And I don't think OG have the killer support for this lane. Like, Coddle Necro are not going to kill Morph, right? They can maybe pressure him a bit, but eventually he's going to be doing fine and just using his attribute shift and farming. Whereas the other way around, you have the Chen, who just came in with a Penitence and a Creep, and then they just mauled the Necro because he doesn't have Ghost Shroud yet.
Yeah.
So this was the one, I want to say the one major moment of opportunity that IG had in this lane to get a head start, and they took it in immediately. So well done. to get them off to a great start here on the scoreboard. The mid kill, the more important one though. Ember will benefit a lot from this. He's already almost level 5 with Alchemist just cracking level 4. Obviously, Dust has
most
plenty
of, the
of kills in the side lane.
Lost of XP here for BZM. And I mean, we've already seen a couple games of Unai in terms of casting the quote-unquote new Alchemist, but not a ton mid. A lot of it's been off lane.
We had it mid one game yesterday, LGD.
Okay, well,
I think.
Basically the question is, now that you've seen a few games at least, regardless of position, do you feel like this hero, I mean, teams are prioritizing quite a bit. Do you think it's as good as they think?
I think he's really good. And I think
TYW is dead.
He is in trouble for sure.
Oh, nice fairy fire. Okay.
Oh.
Boy, I'm pulling a lot of cinders today.
Damn.
Let's just not call it anymore.
Yeah. The secret is to say he's probably dead, and then afterwards you can say, wow, that was incredible, he lived.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with the teams. I think Alchemist in this patch is incredible. It can lane all 3 lanes. The fact that you just start with Greevil's Greed means you're a much better laner.
Oh,
Here's the pressure again. He will still Ghost Shroud level 3 here.
Yeah, which was a necessity. Doesn't feel great to be able to, or to have to do that as a Necro, but in order to live, you do what you do.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously he's already died, so Emo and company already have the advantage in this lane. We'll see. They're able to pressure Emo a bit, though, for the time being.
Yeah, Tiger with the 2 points in Blinding Light. So this ability scales pretty well. The cooldown goes down, the damage goes up, you get more cast range, so you get... It's a hard spell to use on level 1 because of how close you need to come in to get the right angle. Curious to see how he goes about it this game, if he's actually going to max it out, and when he starts getting points in Illuminate, because it feels like, you know, eventually, within the next 10 minutes, this game is going to reach a state where I think Caudle's primary job will be shoving out waves. He doesn't have amazing chakra friends like Ember or Pango, where you're like, I'm just going to follow these guys and give them 2 of their spells, and they're going to kill everything. So I think he will be playing a lot more wave clear, and to do that, he should start getting points in Illuminate, maybe on level 4 here. We'll see. It's going to be a bit
question about Necro offlane these days. These days meaning the last week.
Yes.
Now that Hood is, I mean, Hood was a very popular item this year. It's not in existence anymore. What the hell do you buy in the early game? Hold that thought. Some action onto Yuragi, taking a lot of damage. Going to pop the wand to stay alive. Here comes another toss. That should be enough to get the Ursa kill, and it is.
Imagine just getting absolutely crushed under a 2-headed dog that lands on your head. Could you imagine?
The cosmetic for Chen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should do extra damage.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. There's certain heroes, when they get tossed, it's just like, you feel like people should just get crushed.
Yeah, of course.
Tossing Pudge should do bonus damage.
To Pudge as well. I mean, actually, Toss used to do damage to your teammates back in the day.
Yeah, that's... Damn, you're old, huh?
It wasn't that long ago, I think.
You say so.
Yeah. MC's going to get pressured. Pops the Ghost Shroud again. And it's going to get dispelled off, actually.
The Purge creep, but...
Yeah, that's pretty powerful stuff.
There's 2 Shard Golems here as well.
That is going to be super annoying to deal with.
That Blinding Light's going to clean up.
In terms of like later in the game, there's no real nullifier hero, I would say, for IG. So it might have to have one of those creeps handy at all times if possible. Be able to dispel that Ghost Shroud.
Yeah, Purge creep is definitely good this game.
Anyway, the Hood.
Yeah.
What the hell do you buy on this hero now?
So I think you can still go the Greaves route, and Cloak is still very good value.
They're ganking. Emo.
Might be okay, though.
Yeah, he's going to get the attribute shift off. So MC on the other side of the trees. Will Emo be okay? Death Pulse is there, Illuminate as well. Continuing to shift. He's just stuck here, going back and forth, and, well, he goes back to his fountain.
He seemed like he didn't know the tree line there. He wasn't sure where to go.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe there was no exit, but if there was any exit, he might have lived. But maybe they just covered them all. OG there. Yeah, so I think what you do on Necro is a build somewhat like what MC is looking at here, which is Greaves Cloak, I guess. It's completely fine, and you can obviously complete the Pipe. Pipe is an outstanding item. It's way better than it was before. So I think that's probably what you do.
Both Wisdom Runes went the side of IG, by the way. That's a pretty big deal. Mid lane, BZM gets off the concoction. TPs are coming from Kitrek. It's a nice frostbite onto Dust. Has another remnant, but he's just taking too much damage, and BZM ends up getting credit for that kill. Meanwhile, trying to take advantage of the numbers here in the bot lane. MC pops that Ghost Shroud, makes a big adaptive strike, getting blocked off, and he should be dead. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 across the map.
There's one more X factor for Necro in this game that I think you shouldn't underestimate, and that is if he gets his hand on Lotuses, because this item is extra good on him with Ghost Shroud. So even if you are less tanky in certain stages because you don't have the hood, if you have even just one Lotus, it's just a 200 burst heal under Ghost Shroud. Nice blind from Taiga.
Beautifully done. And BZM has come as well for the concoction, extra minus armor. And Yuragi and company will be able to get the kill. But Dust coming in to try to take out Yuragi, but he has that Enrage at his ready.
He's out of remnants. He's actually in huge trouble. He has to slide dodge this.
Still, yeah, gets it off, but actually quite a long slide. Actually works to his disadvantage. He's gonna get blinding lit back, but he's gonna get chased down as the Illuminate is enough from Taiga. Nice turnaround there from OG. So BZM, top net worth right now, actually top 3 net worth, all on OG side, despite IG getting off to a really good start at the very early stages of the game, but seems to have not gone their way since. BYW getting ganked. And he is, oh, okay, the self-stun might be enough for PYW just to walk away. BZM getting blocked by his own illusions. Little baby concoction. Kitrak not able to get any closer, though, as Dust finally TP's back to the mid lane.
Yeah, a bit greedy from BZM there to want to have more than the 3-second stun on the initial one, and Tiny went for a Mango Ava. I think a 2-second concoction there even is probably a kill, so wanted a little bit more than he needed. And POW will live, but at the end of the day, nobody dies on the side of OG. They seem to be setting the pace quite well right now, forcing heroes around. However, IG are making a move of their own up here, and this is what Chen will often excel at. Coddle will try his best to stop this push, however, and will be successful. So they're holding onto this tower for now.
Yeah, that Frostbite is mega annoying for Chen. Lasts so long on these creeps, basically just kills them outright.
Emo needs to be careful because
yeah, Reapers is
they're like floating half health on Morph right now. If any hero comes in with literally any spell, the Reaper's just gonna or that.
Oh my god, Kitrak.
Or that.
The snipe. And then the TP. Goodbye. Big kill for OG. Gracious.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yuragi sniffs this one out.
I don't actually know if did he have vision? Because his ward is outside of range. I think he might have just guessed it based on him starting to morph down. And maybe he got a line of sight through the trees. Not sure.
Tough to say.
That was clean though from Kitrak. Very nice kill.
I mean, that's the difference in the game in general with these gates. You can just gank from behind and then get the hell out whenever you want. It is super scary to be a safe lane, especially a Morphling type like you said that goes full agi temporarily to be able to min-max the healing regen. Emo will be back mid. That's why I was expecting, I mean, maybe not this game, but if you're going to be playing a hero like that, you want to put them mid. I feel like Morphling mid might end up being more common than the safe lane for this patch, but we'll see. Maybe Morphling just isn't as strong of a hero.
I mean, the tricky part is that what a lot of teams have found success with and why a hero like Storm and Pango, etc. have been rated pretty highly for some teams is that if there's so much action happening in the side lanes non-stop, you kind of want to be able to bring numbers and overwhelm, right? And that's why these mid heroes that are online early and have mobility spells can be really powerful because they can connect from mid faster than the enemy mid can. But if we reach a state where things slow down a little bit, I could definitely see something like mid-morph become way more interesting. But yeah, most of the time we see spirit heroes. And even a hero like mid-alch is a little bit of a wild card because sure, he is a farming hero, but at the very least when he TPs down, he has, you know, you have a ranged stun, you have some significant damage, and you put a pressure on the game in a different way.
Wow, 3 members of OG on top of Dust. He uses a lot of his remnants. He's slowed horribly now, trying to get out. Another one to the high ground, gets up another slide and chains. 4 members of OG, they're not gonna be able to get that, but they will get the Tony. So something for OG is all 5 members now that MC has come to play. Looking for the tier 1 tower. I think Dust, another Searing Chains. You can see the Chen coming into the fray, but tower's already at half HP as the Alchemist does have the Radiance online now. They're just gonna jump right in and chew up QI, QX. Perhaps the tier 1 tower to follow. I don't know how many chains we've seen in this fight, but it's quite a few. Doesn't seem to be able to do too much damage. There's a big Reaper Scythe, and Dust, after all of that, gets taken out. And now, trying to pressure the Timber Saw. Yuragi pops the Enrage, but Emo looks like that's who they have their sights set on, already at half HP. He's gonna get chased, Concoction is there, and just the casual right clicks from Yuragi. So OG in numbers just completely overwhelming IG. They get several kills and the mid tower.
It's such an insane fight to play Coddle in as well. Like, I think Taiga got off 3 or 4 Illuminates with Spirit Form. Just keeps chakring for extra concoctions as well. OG just have so much in the tank if they get to keep chain healing with their Necro and their Coddle. You see, I mean, IG are doing respectable damage, but it all just gets regened up. There's the Illuminates, there's the Death Pulse, there's Alchemist's own regen, there's the mech, they just can't get through them.
Yeah, OG have so much sustain. Like we saw, I think it was like 4 Sleight of Fist Searing Chain combos in that minute and a half period, but they just brushed them off completely. And now that the mech, like you said, is online for MC, they're going to get this tier 1 tower bot as well. And he's getting, looks like the Greaves are going to be first. And to the Roche pit they go.
I love it. I mean, it's 14 minutes in. This is an early Roche in this patch, but you've got the perfect heroes for it. You've got heals, you've got Ursa, you've got minus armor. The formality to get this done.
Now, do you give this to Alk instead of Ursa, do you think? I think you might. We'll see how they want to play this. Feels like the obligation is to give it to Ursa because he does all the work.
No, it's just, I think it's a matter of who is more likely to get in trouble and actually need it. And I think the way the fights have been going so far, the Alchemist is playing, a little bit more in range, and when he does commit in, he's a harder kill. So this just gives a lot of freedom for Yuragi to play more aggressively than you usually would on Ursa.
Concoction's coming. Frostbite's going to set it up. It's almost a full duration one. Freezing Field as well, and the Scythe. Goodbye, Emo. Despite being a pretty survivable hero, Morphling not looking too hot in this game.
I mean, OG definitely showcasing the reason why they last picked this Necro. There's added benefits aside from this. He's also one of the best heroes at killing Timbersaw. So, and as the panel talked about, it also maybe could have laned against Ember. If there was a lane swap from IG where they would put the Morph mid, I think Alchemist would have free farmed mid against the Morph, and then the Necro would have destroyed Ember's in the safe lane. So they kind of forced IG's hand to put the Morph safe, and I personally think when we've seen IG do the best with this Morphling on Emo, it's been when he's been playing mid. And he's got these levels and he's kind of like taken over the game with aggressive plays. Just hadn't had the option to do it this game. And imagine this game if Dust didn't have a good start, right? Like IG even got a couple of kills that they might not have had any business getting in the very early stages. It just seems like it doesn't matter. Necro now showing Greaves plus Cloak. It's going to be a stupidly difficult kill. Ursa has Aegis. They have Coddle for the heals. Alchemist is tanky. I think IG are just running into a wall right now in terms of damage issues. That this is what I think is really hard in this patch and why a lot of the games get pretty one-sided and fast is when one team hits this early mid-game timing with auras and the other team doesn't have enough damage, what the hell do you do? Like, you can't really fight. If you try to dodge and play the map, you're going to lose your towers and then you're going to lose more map. So I think the hero that has to step up for IG here has to be the Timber, because he's the one guy that can ignore the auras, right?
Yep.
As they start coming into play, and has the burst to pierce the healing.
Well, they're going to spot out the Chen, and he doesn't live too long.
There goes the
army.
army.
The freezing field for the creeps, and looks like they're going to get all of them.
That's the real hero.
4 pine cones.
When you kill Chen, if you ask pro teams, would you rather kill Chen or his 4 creeps? I think they would choose the 4 creeps and leave Chen alive. Because all the time he needs to spend getting new creeps again in the jungle and the map control.
Okay, what's the best team against killing Chen creeps? You have like Nakes Infest, Doom Devour, somebody with Hand of Midas.
Yeah, just get some Midases.
Clinks. He has 2 charges.
Doom with Midas and Clinks with Midas. There you go.
Okay.
You eat all 4.
That's true. But then you don't have great efficiency with the Midas. You have to wait for the creeps to show up as Dust. Getting gone on. MC's in the vicinity.
For the Reaper behind there, but Dust wisely goes south. I don't know if he saw them or... Looks like he has no vision, but kind of made the right call to run toward his Chen.
And we see the Lincoln's now online for the Morph, so Reaper Scythe will be a little bit more difficult.
He's in trouble potentially here. There's some serious damage. Yeah. Is there a Reaper coming?
My
there
goodness,
is.
He just TP'd into this, and he's just going to die. Gracious. 10k lead for OG.
This map
and
is
IG
so
crumbling.
Small. The map is 40% bigger this patch, but IG's map is about as little as you would have thought in the last patch in this game state. Yeah. They have nowhere to go. Just keep getting killed
Ember's
everywhere.
dead. Man, these kills just look way too easy for OG.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
As they're going to try to get this tier 2, or at least pressure it a bit. As 18-minute Battle Fury. After, okay, he went to Fusel first. I was going to say, how are they winning so horribly? He doesn't even have a Battle Fury. Jesus.
It's an interesting build-up.
Do you think that that's a good idea? I mean, you're winning like big time, so it doesn't probably matter that
Could have bought Dagon and got some spell points, but, you know.
Yeah, spell lifesteal for Ursa, not too bad with the Earthshock and whatnot. All right, good call on the Aegis. I'll give you that. As the rest of OG gonna try to help out their comrades. Gonna get tossed back into the tier 3 though, and that's a lot of damage coming out from the Timber. They're gonna be able to pick up the kill onto the Ursa, but it's gonna cost them their Timber in the end. So a 1-for-1 of that little mini exchange. Dust, nice chains, quite a bit of damage. Kit Rat get damaged by the tower as well, so the CM drops to the deck, and now PYW and company can barely even extend past the stairway of their lower tier 3. Just so much sustainability here from OG.
All right, a little bit of signs of life here from IG. Getting some trades. Obviously, Yoragi went pretty damn deep there, and as you pointed out, the Battle Fury, not really good bang for your buck right now. It is a build-up item, so even if his net worth looks very healthy, his just raw stats from it, not the greatest.
So is this one of those, like, he was halfway built with, like, it was halfway done and the game just started going extremely well for them? He's like, I might as well finish it, or is it a safety net kind of deal?
I think that's exactly what it is. Like, OG know they're in a comfortable spot in the game, and they just want to make sure they don't fall off and lose to Morph. So
I feel like if that's the case, Midas for the Chen. Well,
oh. Yes.
Of course, the Midas not as good.
So you want Ursa to go Diffusal into Midas.
I mean, you said he could go Dagon and still win, so...
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he
20 minutes in,
are
they going to steal the Tormentor? Looks like it.
Like they will.
Ursa, one of the best at taking these bad boys. And Dust, he is going to take exception to this. They're going to be able to smoke up. We'll try to retake. No, it's not happening. Coddle gets it.
The Tormentor becomes the Tormented.
That's right. And now OG, we'll see if they prioritize their Tormentor, but
they are
going to jump right in. Going to PYW
in his
Pops
face.
In rage. Oh, can't really get that many right clicks off. Finally, the Greaves come through. Very important. Crystal Maiden just leveled up another level of Arcane Aura. That's why everybody lit up like a Christmas tree.
So happy we got to see that. Okay, Dust. That's aggressive.
That's a nice slight. But the Timber Saw is getting absolutely destroyed by Yoragi. Reaper Scythe is there. Bye-bye, Timber.
Yeah.
Tiny's next. Double kill for MC, and OG are... They're absolutely spanking them right now.
Yeah, so when I said that was aggressive from Timber, it was mainly from the perspective of, well, if you engage into this OG lineup and your entire team doesn't connect immediately and burst a hero, the turnaround potential is just too strong. Like the Vessel, the Reaper Scythe, Timber can't play aggressively, and you know what? MC has Greaves Pipe. Who's going to kill him? Who's going to kill the team?
That's right.
It's hard to really see the angle that IG can take to a fight, the approach that is going to work for them. And they will always, when they initiate, they will be fighting into Acid Spray Radiance, so just the passive damage nonstop that's hitting them. It's just a matter of time. Acid Spray Radiance and the Necrophos, what's it called again? I cannot remember. This is one of my favorite heroes. Heartstopper Aura, there you go.
Very good.
Over time, your health
That's why you get paid
whittles
the
away.
big bucks. You can read.
Yes, unlike Beastmaster.
Wait, what?
It's one of his voice lines. Wish I'd learned how to read.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. You do love your voice lines.
I do.
By the way, have you seen the... I don't know if MC has it. It's not really the build for it yet, but the Shard? The new
the Shard is dope.
Oh my god,
it's really, really good. It's a true feels good item.
Okay, here's my question, though. Let's say... Okay, so Morphling has Lincolns. Obviously, it will block the... I think it's still called Deathseeker.
I think you still travel to him, though.
But do you travel first? Because
I would think so.
It wouldn't block it until the projectile hits, I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, though. But
my guess would be that you travel and then you break Lincoln's on connection.
So it does its job, mostly.
Yeah, then you could Reaper right after. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that is one of the... It was kind of a subtle... maybe it's not subtle. That's one of the coolest changes of the patch, honestly. Maybe I'm just a Necro lover, but... Any excuse not to have to buy well, both BKB, I guess, and Blink.
I'm glad you said Necro lover and not another word. Is that all right? Here we go. Tiny is
PYW.
Trouble.
He is dead.
Yep.
22K lead for OG. Next Roche is in 20 seconds, so that might
MC
put
is
the final
building.
stamp
He's
on.
getting Holy Locket. On the unholiest of heroes. That's some bad roleplay right there on the Necro. That's not a... It's not a Necro item, my friend. UIQX.
Oh,
Juking around.
Juke.
But
Nice
self-stun
Manta attempt.
will connect.
But the Manta illusions find him in the end. And OG able to... I mean, that's the interesting thing. Again, it's really early in the patch as Dust is... He might get out. He has a remnant. Gonna try to farm in the meantime.
We'll get out here.
Yeah. If you're getting absolutely destroyed, like in the old patch, there's a certain segment of the map that maybe you can farm. With the map 40% bigger, you would think that there should be even more area to farm that's semi-safe. Where are those areas? Are they just the outskirts?
Yeah, I think you'll probably play the edges of the map, but again, the issue is that OG are just being relentless, right? They're just knocking on the front door. Okay, Taiga probably knocked a little bit too hard there.
Yeah, but he's an old man. Joints aren't what they used to be.
Yeah, we'll feed a little bit of gold over to the side of IG. They got about 1,500 gold for killing the 4 Caudal. He does have more net worth than Dust on the mid-Ember, so that'll do it. Wonder how much gold you get for killing Alk right now. Probably 2.5 to 3K maybe. Killing this big boy. Speaking of big boy, here's the other big boy, the biggest of boys. Only beaten by Undying with Bloodlust and 17 decay stack.
Oh yeah, they have to kill in the next 20 seconds with an Ursa. Shouldn't be an issue.
Oh.
I want to see Roche die mid-travel.
Yeah.
That's what we were hoping for at this tournament. Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so you had this, the thing that you said where when he dies on one side he drops Ags and on the other side he drops Refresher.
Yeah, for
what
the
if
third.
he dies on the way?
Then you should get both, I think. I think that's only fair.
Maybe he gives it, maybe it's based on which side of the gate he's still on.
Yeah, PYW getting chased into the trees. Just trying to create as much space as he can. That's a new graveyard for him, though. I mean, what if, I mean, again, this is the funny thing is I can come up with a whole bunch of random shit now. Like, what would this be like in the game? And you can't call me an idiot because this patch was insane. Emo. Yep. Speaking of insane, he's trying to farm. OG's not okay with that. They're not okay with that. He's dead.
Well, BSJ did say that Morph doesn't have the best win rate against Ursa, and that right there is one of the examples of why. Ursa doesn't mind buying Diffusal, and once he gets on top of you, he's one of the few heroes that can genuinely just bite through your entire health pool even when you're morphing down. So, Dust. Oh, quick reaction there.
You know, I was thinking more about the... I have to actually look it up. The name, what's the Diffusal upgrade called? Disperser.
Yes.
We're going to watch Chen die for the nth time this game. I wasn't giving as much credit as I should have. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's one of those, you buy Diffusal early, and at some point you can upgrade to it.
It feels good that Diffusal can upgrade into something, right?
But the thing I miss is that you can use it on yourself to dispel yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's super nice.
It's in certain situations, but you're holding it up against Manta, right?
Right, so, and Satanic.
Yeah, and Satanic. So,
right. But like late game, you don't want to hold on to a Diffusal, right?
Exactly. In the past, you would probably sell Diffusal at some point, but now that you can upgrade it, you can maybe keep the slot and then you maintain some value, you get another Dispel. It's definitely not bad, but I think most carries that would in the past go Diffusal Manta will still do that over getting Disperser. It just doesn't seem worth it. And that's the trend we've been seeing mainly on a hero like PL. They will still follow that pattern. It's just too valuable to get Manta on that hero.
Well, Timber has his sights set on an Aghanim Scepter. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to make it to it. I've been wanting to cast a game with that bad boy.
I would have loved for him to buy it
Toss
earlier.
back. All right, focusing on the Ursa. Uragi pops the Enrage, though, and they're just going to kill Tiny outright. Dust looking to be next on the list. Has a slight remnant with the BKB. Allows them to get away for now. But BZM looking to try to finish this game as GG's just called outright. So 30K lead for OG to end.